Hello, welcome everyone to The Distraction. It is Tuesday, Movie Review Tuesday. We got the triple box. We got a special guest today. I'm Jeremy Lambert, joined as always by the artistic ace analyst, Joe Hulbert. Joseph, how are you? I got that right?
Yes, I'm blown away because we have a big star on the show.
We do.
He's been ducking us, rescheduled here. He's Hollywood now. He has his own show, the whole deal. But he's finally here. We have a bit, and this is the super team. I've said this before. I was a role player. But Pippen and Jordan sit in front of me here. This is something to see. Very excited.
Joining us today from Post Wrestling, from Andrew Thompson YouTube, from Twitter, from your mind and imagination. Andrew Thompson, the Michael Jordan of this shit. Andrew Thompson, what up?
Oh man, the band is back together, fellas. The original three. Y'all know what it is. I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be back with the guys.
I love that within this metaphor of us as a team. Like, basically what it was I was like a buyout guy that joined you for the playoffs, and I got some shots up I left at the end of the season, but we remember it fondly, right? I'm not one of those guys. You have to look it up on Wikipedia. Where did he play with? Where was Hulbert on the team? There was one playoff run, but yes, it was very fun.
We are here to review Ready to Rumble. We were talking off air, and Joe felt very bad because we do 2 shows a week, sometimes 3, and we got Andrew on to review a movie. And Joe picked this movie, by the way. This is all his fault. He's like, let's review Ready to Rumble, the greatest wrestling film of all time. And unbeknownst to me, until last night, I did not know, Andrew, you'd never seen this movie.
Yeah, man. It was I'm gonna say the high takes for the actual review, but this was quite the experience. So thank you, Joe.
I'm sorry, man. I thought this would be easy, and then like when I realised it was longer than like 80 minutes. I suddenly thought this was not a good idea. So I apologise to everyone. But Jeremy's happy. So this is where I think we're going to get into a debate on here. Because Jeremy seemed very happy with my choice.
Yeah, because I love this film. It's legitimately, you guys were asking me off air, like, do I really like this film? Let me tell you the story of a young Jeremy Lambert and his infatuation with this film. I saw this in theaters. Opening week, I think I actually saw it twice because everyone knew I was into wrestling. So they're like, hey, let's go see this movie. I was like, all right, awesome. When I saw it opening week, maybe you guys didn't stick around through the credits, but the Ronda Rousey theme song, or maybe it's not that, it's We're Not Gonna Take It. Like when you're walking out of the theater as that song is playing and you got like the group behind you, you're the first people walking out, you feel like the biggest badass in the world. And that's how I was walking out of that theater after this movie. When this DVD came out, not only did I have this movie memorized like line for line, I have the alternate commentary with Arquette and Scott Caan memorized almost line for line. I will drop in the gems that they give you on this film as well. This movie was embedded in my brain as a kid, and rewatching it brought back a lot of those memories. So yes, I actually do love this film.
I feel like the middle guy here because Andrew hasn't seen it at all until now. You're the biggest fan ever of this film. I have seen it a lot, and I was unsure if I liked it, and now I can confirm I do not like this film. So I pass it to Andrew now. I want to just set it up for you like this, okay? If you were open-minded going into this film, the opening 5 minutes of this film are insane. And I will read my notes, my lead notes here, and this is what my notes say, and then I'll pass it to Andrew and say, how did this set the table for you as a viewer? My notes say as follows. Arquette jams fingers in arsehole. Got my direct quote. Okay? That's what I've got here. Arquette enjoys pissing his pants. God. That's it. That's all I've got in the opening scene. Okay? I can't even remember what this is. I don't know when that happened. Andrew, could they have started this film worse? Do you think they could have made it any worse if they tried? How did this get you going here?
Top 5 worst starts to a film of all time, bro. And that's it. Because just the points that Joe mentioned, right? Then you had the cop coming up to him, right? Lo and behold, going to find out that's his father. And then the man is clearly harassing this man inappropriately in every way possible, and then brings his own son out to harass him as well. And I'm like, dog, what is going on in this film? I'm telling you, top 5 worst starts to a film of all time. Jeremy, I don't know how you did it, bro. I really don't.
Look, so he sticks his finger up his asshole because he wants the free slushie because he drank it all from his friend. That's just being a good friend right there. That's just being a
we
good
understand
friend.
it.
Why do y'all
We
hate
don't
friendship?
understand why it had to be in the film. Why did the finger jamming have to take place?
That
in
was
this
the way
movie?
to do it. What the? He's gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, I drank this all. My friend's upset." No, he goes in there and it's like, "Hey, this drink smells like shit. All the ash juice was settled at the bottom."
Time out. Let me ask this real quick. So, I remember he said that they had jobs, and we saw that at the end. Like, what exactly were their jobs? Like, what did they do?
They cleaned porta potties. That was their jobs. Shit boys, how's the shit doing today?
That's a line. That is a strong line. This is where we are going to go like relatively scene by scene, right? I do because I think Jeremy.
I mean, we skipped Macho Man Randy Savage just making his cameo and having a grocery store brawl long before Austin and Booker T ever thought of this.
We can do that, Jeremy. If you want to do that, we can do it. But I did want to kind of set things up a certain way and make sure we're all on the same page on one thing, okay? True or false, this is a film made by a wrestling promotion in which both wrestling fans and wrestlers, as well as the whole wrestling industry, is framed as being one of the dumbest things in the world. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's facts.
Okay, so as long as you're willing to concede that, Jeremy, I will allow you to enjoy the rest of this nonsense.
Okay.
But we do need to make it clear that is a decision that was actually made. It was made clear, yes, let's make this look as dumb as we possibly can. So I wanted to make it clear, now you can talk about Macho Man and all that good stuff.
Are they wrong? Are they wrong?
Well, based on current events, no, they're not. I still would like them to pretend otherwise. That's all, okay?
We got Macho Man Randy Savage in there. This is when we're introduced to Jimmy King as well. He's the big star of the film. He's the big WCW star. He's the champion and everything. Andrew, did you know about Jimmy King before this? Have you ever heard of Jimmy King?
Oh no, wait, time out. That was a real person?
No.
Oh.
You wouldn't watch WCW in 2000 where Jimmy King was on top running the game?
Imagine.
When Jimmy King was on top of WCW in 2000, I was like, I don't even know, like 4. So like I don't even know. But man, when you said that, I was like, Jimmy King, that was a real dude. Like that was like a legit wrestler. But man, Jimmy King was Don the King gimmick before Booker T. So we gotta have some discussion with old Booker.
Do you think Booker T? Do you think Booker T would have been angry and be like, "This comedy character, he can't get over. This isn't working here."
No, it's kind of funny because Booker T went on and did the King gimmick like 6 years after that movie came out, 5 years after that movie came out.
Because he copied it.
Kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like Jeremy was so serious when he said that, like he wasn't even trying to be funny.
Hey, look, Booker, you know this better than me. Both of you transcribed our Booker stuff. There is a chance that's true. Like, he said much wilder stuff than I took the Jimmy King gimmick. He says much wilder than that. So that's fine.
Booker, we know you're watching. Open invitation to come on the podcast. He was in this film, so I'm sure he's got some stories.
He was.
Yeah,
Right.
very briefly. But come on the podcast and discuss how you stole the Jimmy the King gimmick.
So I know you have many great lines. You've already mentioned one of my favourites. Hey, shit boy. Hey, shit boys. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
How's shit work? Which is, I mean, it's on the nose if nothing else. And then we have the bit where Arquette pranks his friend. He introduces him to that bracelet. The what would King do?
Wickeda.
Yes.
Wicked.
So my question to you two is, because I could actually use what would King do. It would be Eddie Kingston in that sense, but I would use it and explain it as such. It'd be a good story every time. It would open with, have you seen Ready to Rumble, the 2000 classic? So I asked both of you, wrestling bracelets, what would insert initial do? Who is your guy, girl, whoever it may be? Who are you going with?
Go ahead, Andrew.
You go first, Jeremy. You go first.
All right.
You go first.
All right. It would still be a Wickeda, but you would flip the K with a C. What would Cena do?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course that's it. The answer is always jean shorts.
Yeah.
Always and forever. To both of our questions. Yes, Andrew, who you got?
Oh my goodness, man. You know what? What's the question again?
So you're making a bracelet based on this film. You know the what would King do deal?
Okay.
Any questions he has in life, he asks what would King do. So you can switch out the K there to any other wrestler. It could be he had what would Cena do, which is debatable in many ways. But I ask you, who would your wrestler be that you would look to in times of trouble and ask what would they do?
What would Gene Snitsky do? That's what I'm running with.
A Wista? A whist, what would Snitsky do?
Wow, that would be something. You'd end up in some strange places following that path, but I respect it. I'm with it. Okay, it works for me.
Andrew would see a baby and be like, "Oh, what should I do here?" Look down at his bracelet, see what would Snitsky do, and decide to punt the baby instead of, care for it. I think that would get you into some trouble if you tried that, Andrew.
I was gonna ask, like, y'all seen what the hell Snitsky been up to these days?
No idea.
I have
No idea.
He actually will be making an appearance on this show soon, though. Not in person, but in another form that we cannot explain right now. Trust me, I'm aware of it. I'm currently working on it. So that's a tease, okay? That's what we call it in the business, Andrew. It's a tease. Okay? This transition, we move forward. We then move to the iconic scene in which they're at the building. Have I missed anything, Jeremy, before I go forward? Do you want to talk about anything before the actual...
He sucked his friend down the toilet, and that sets up kind of everything bad that's going to happen, because you can't do that. Friends don't do that to friends, Joseph.
Yeah. Good point, yes. So this is where they have the worst seats in the building. Right? They get very excited about the Nitro Girls. And then we meet Sinclair. Right, which was a 20-year ahead of its time shot at Ring of Honor and the Code of Honor, which was bold. And he plans on screwing the King, which I believe Goldberg was supposed to be suspicious of, but he was not able to convey that emotion well enough. That's my critique here. Did you guys know? Did you know that this Eric Bischoff was supposed to play this role? Sinclair was supposed to be actually Eric Bischoff, and he got fired before they started making the film. This is real. It's a real thing.
All I know is Arquette and Scott Caan would call Joe Pantaleone a very weird character on the DVD commentary. They didn't go into much details on Joe Pants, but they did just say, like, yeah, he was a weird guy.
Okay.
Doug, I am howling at you saying Goldberg was a bad actor, because when I was watching that scene, I was like, is he supposed to be like aware of what's going on? He was just like looking. I'm like, ain't show no type of emotion. And not much has changed. So there we go.
And on the other side of the coin, in fairness, DDP is legit like as good as he could possibly be in this film, right? Like he's actually every time he's on the screen, he's trying his best to make this enjoyable for normal people like Andrew and myself. Jeremy is happy regardless. He's in. So we meet Tony Schiavone and Mike Tenay, who are now like running characters on our show, right, Jeremy? We review something with Tony Schiavone every week. They're here. Schiavone looks as interested as you expect. And now I get to a question that I have every week about films. Normally it is, is this guy a good spy? Is he a good businessman? My question here is Jimmy King a good top guy professional wrestler? Is this even a good promo? What were they thinking here, folks, putting this guy on top for so long? I don't get it, okay? No wonder they lost the wars.
Time out. So the way that this man was portrayed on screen made him seem like the biggest deal in the world. And this man was broke the whole time. WCW was not paying this man a lick.
Yes.
Like, I was just thinking about that. I was like, damn, that's kind of like, well, it was kind of realistic, I'm guessing, back in the day for what some people made. And like, they just presented them as this big deal on TV.
Yeah, they buried themselves. And that's the weirdest thing. It's like, it's one thing if the fans are idiots, right? But portraying a top guy like he's a loser is just like so odd. Especially because the whole critique of that WCW time is like everyone was getting paid, right? Like everyone was 7-figure guy because Bischoff and that whole deal, which I'm not going to get into. But it's insane that they also felt the need to make the wrestlers look like idiots. Like it's wild, man. I'm with you. That's weird. But Jeremy, is this?
Let me tell you how I'm going to explain all of this to you. All right.
Well, okay.
The King was only broke. Sinclair, look, he negotiated a bad deal. Sinclair was kind of his business manager here, so a lot of that money went to Sinclair, right? So when he screwed him out of the contract in the where were they, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and the Cheyenne, Wyoming screw job against Diamond Dallas Page, Jimmy King lost everything. That's why he had nothing. Yeah, he lost everything. He already blew the money that he did make, which wasn't as much as he could have made because Sinclair was getting most of that money. And then he blew what he did get, and then because he got screwed over in the Cheyenne, Wyoming screw job, he lost everything. That's why he had fallen on hard times. Not because WCW doesn't pay their guys, or wrestlers are losers, or Jimmy King is a loser. In this instance, he's a loser because he negotiated a bad deal. That's it.
Okay.
Glad I could clear that up.
Who's a worse main event guy? I'll give you 3 options.
Braun Strowman.
Babyface Seth Rollins. 4 options: Braun Strowman of either disposition, Clown Bray Wyatt, or Jimmy King. Rank those 4 for me, please. You can combine on that one. I'm fine. But
hold on. Okay, so we got babyface Seth,
yes,
Braun, Fiend Bray
Clown
Wyatt,
Bray, and then
and then
Jimmy King.
Jimmy King. So are we going 1 to 4 as 1 being the best or 1 being the worst?
Draft style. Who are you building your promotion around here? Who's got the ball first?
Number 1 main event guy. I'm taking Seth. Number 2, number 2, I'm taking Bray. Number 3, I'm going Jimmy King, and number 4, I'm going Braun, because Braun is the worst.
I'm with Andrew. I'm putting Braun at 4. I think I'm putting Seth at 3. We've turned the corner on old Bray here on this program. I can get a lot out of Bray. He's never gonna wrestle for me. That's the problem. I need a top guy who's gonna actually wrestle. I'm putting the King at first. All right, we're going with the King, Jimmy King. He can cut promos. He can work. He's got a finishing move that's over. That's not gonna kill him or anything. Where he's serious about the business. We're going with the King.
And King also gave his wife crabs and doesn't take care of his kids. So that's one thing you can pass on about Mr. Jimmy King.
Yes,
I mean,
imagine a Bray Wyatt Jimmy King program on top, man. I'm in.
Why? Oh, why didn't we pick?
We'll get there. We'll get there. Trust me, all covered. Production meeting, Jeremy.
Okay.
I have you way covered on that.
All right.
Did you appreciate, being wrestling fans, that in order for you to understand how it works, they had the part where DDP in the middle of a match said "good sound effects" to Jimmy King as he made sound on his punches. I've never wrestled a match, believe it or not. I am quietly confident no one's ever called in the middle of the ring "good sound effects" to another professional wrestler. But I don't know. Do you know who his stuntman was for Jimmy King in this movie? Because I've done my research.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Yeah. I know who it was. Andrew, do you know?
No, who was it?
Oh, Chris Kanyon.
Wow, Jeremy, you were confident there.
Yeah.
When you see it, it's so, like, when you told it, it's so obvious, isn't it? But without it, it's fine. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But yes.
Of course.
Good sound
asking me who's this stuntman. I told you I know the DVD commentary of this film. Yes, I know who this stuntman is.
True.
That's kind of cool, though, that it was Chris Kanyon, though. I like that. I don't know why.
That's
cool.
why Kanyon, that's why he was the one who took the bump when they did the Triple Cage match at the whatever pay-per-view it was with Paige and Arquette and Jeff Jarrett. Kanyon took that bump and basically screwed up his career.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't intend for it to go that dark.
Well, I mean, that's what happened. I didn't book it.
Here, Dallas, he shoots on the King, right? And Arquette is like immediately terrified. Right, as soon as King gets hit by one punch, like what he must be like during a lengthy heat segment, God forbid. He couldn't believe it that Jimmy King was not on offense here. I did want to make a quick mention, and you guys can say whatever you want about this match because it's an incredible scene, and I know what Jeremy's really excited about, the finish, but I do like that DDP has this like faction throughout the film that he's just referred to as Paige's goons, and it's just like guys. There's no explanation as to why, who. It doesn't matter. They're just guys that run out, which is a nice sort of parody of itself with WCW's main event scene at this time. So yes, this match, Andrew, top 10 film wrestling matches you've seen.
Jesus. No, wait. So we can't just gloss over the fact that the young GOAT kicked off the wrestling portion of this film, Young Rey Mysterio unmasked.
Yes.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, hold on, I had to rewind the room. I was like, what is that, Rey Mysterio? That shit was crazy. Yeah. I saw Conan. I'm like, what the hell's going on over here, man?
Yeah, Conan, actually, I'm glad you mentioned him because he always talks about the fact that when he was in the NWO, he would find a way to get on camera. Like if Hogan was talking, he would like stick his head around Hogan's shoulders. He was always like, and if you watch this scene with that in mind, when Sinclair is talking, Conan is like staring directly down the camera at all times. He's great. So yes, he's here. He does a heel turn here, right? He's one of Jimmy King's friends initially.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you may need to guide me on this one. And then who's the other people that turned heel here, Jeremy?
I don't
joined Paige's goons.
I don't remember.
Oh, come on. It was him. It was Hennig. One other. This is where Sinclair does like the Russo promo. Right, of the, you know, the Bash at the Beach deal, like you'll never see that piece of shit again. That deal, he does that.
Ahead of its time, Joseph. Ahead of its time.
Yes, and now I will say one phrase, Jeremy, and I'll give him the ball, and he can run the offense because this is very exciting for him. In fact, I'm not even going to say it. There's a move that comes up here that Jeremy gets very excited about. Jeremy, take the ball.
The 4-post massacre. This is the greatest move. No one can survive the 4-post massacre. We also did it. There's also the wrestling's not fake line from way earlier in the film that like everyone loves to quote. But the 4-post massacre. Why isn't this move like... I feel like WCW did try to do this move at one point and like the timing was way off. And I'm sure they've tried it in like indie shows and the timing has sucked. AEW, we got the Butcher, the Blade, Jesus. Pentagon, and Phoenix. Eddie Kingston standing in the middle of the ring, directing traffic. Moxley laying there in the middle of the ring. 4-post massacre on Jon Moxley. Set it up.
Let me ask you this: since y'all mentioned AEW, how disappointed were y'all when Eddie Kingston did not win the AEW World Title? Were you disappointed in the Spider Switch not happening?
I'm too high on it, dude. I'm like, at this point, Eddie Kingston would never win another match, and I'm just like, oh my god, Eddie Kingston on AEW TNT. I'm at that point. It no longer matters to me. Like when the match is happening, I'm in, and I tried to watch it as a fan because that's the thing to do. Right? We all watch way too much wrestling for what we do, but like if you can actually watch something as a fan, much more exciting. So I try to do that, but dude, as soon as the match is over, it's like, oh wow, they just did Moxley and Eddie Kingston in a TV main event. Like I'm way in. Michael Thompson was much madder than us, wasn't he, Jeremy? Yes. He was very fired up. He demands a title change. He's not in on Jon Moxley, which is very funny to me. But yes, that was fun.
Andrew, what do you think of the 4-post massacre, and do you think it could be pulled off today?
Not at all, bro. I like when I see that happen, all I see is 4 dudes just colliding each other's skulls. Like that's all I see. Like, cause I feel like you got like it first of all, it has to be somebody really tall, like that's taking it. Because I feel like if you just get somebody that's like maybe like 5'11" or 5'10", like it's gonna be everybody just colliding at once. Like somebody, it needs to be somebody got to at least be like 6'5", 6'6" to like take that move. Maybe do it on Archer. That'd be funny.
So, is it? I've forgotten now. Jeremy will know. Is it a splash or a headbutt?
It's different people doing different things. I think there is like one splash, and then like other people is doing like a headbutt. It is something. Okay. I don't think you could actually pull this off in real life. But if anyone can put the pieces together, Edward Kingston is the man.
Yeah, he'd love this. I'm sure he'd really enjoy it. So the Usos do the deal where they both do a splash.
Yeah.
Right. And that always looks like it's tough. That one of them always lands sort of awkwardly on a hip. I have no clue how one even. We need to reach out to Eddie on this. Get him to cut a promo on Michael Thompson, and then also ask him how to pull off the 4-post massacre. Because that's the correct name, right? 4-post massacre.
Yes.
And I love that,
no one can survive it.
I love that the fans call it immediately. Like 4-post massacre, no way. Like it must happen all the time. This is Paige's Goon's big play. I feel. Yes, very exciting.
After Jimmy the King dies and he's out of the promotion, I forget that Gordy and Sean. Gordy and Sean drive back. They're very sad. They got the allergies. They wreck the shitmobile, and then toilet paper comes.
This is ridiculous. No, stop.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm gonna let you take it because you just said exactly what I was about to say.
I refuse all of these, but there's nothing about it that makes me madder than seeing you laugh at it this much. Because I was looking at this in my notes, and my note is literally, they cry, get covered in shit, and you're turning this into one of the great comedic bits. What are we doing here, Jeremy?
I feel like Jeremy like genuinely enjoys this film, bro. Like I don't know why.
Not why.
It's real, isn't it? It really is.
Have I ever lied on this program or on Twitter? I'm the Scoopster. I don't tell a lie.
Yeah. Okay.
This is like this scene was horrible, bro. Like this was bad. Like
stupid Titus Sinclair allergies.
First of all, bro, they sitting in a truck full of ass. Basically, that's what it is. Like, and then when the truck tips over, they're sitting here having a full-blown conversation, as if everything in the back of the truck is not leaking.
Yes.
Like I was just.
Awful. It's so bad, and I often, when I watched it today, I was wondering who finds this funny, and then little did I know that my podcast co-host
Jeremy Lambert fans are playing. I'm telling you.
So then, in fact, you know what? I'm not even gonna continue on the note here. I'm gonna just and when Jeremy recovers, he's gonna guide us through the next portion of this plot. And when I'm ready, I'll return to the plot points. For now,
You've got a run point here of going through the movie because
I sensed I did. Yes, yeah. You're too close to it. You're too close.
Jeremy gonna be too biased with it, man. He gonna be too biased.
Yes. So this is what I think Jeremy probably enjoys this too. So they get picked up then, right? And they go with the nuns. And there's another great
farting nuns.
There, which
They're the farting nuns.
Enjoy.
This scene was excellent. That scene was excellent. I ain't gonna lie.
When
That
they're
was
singing
funny.
together.
That was funny.
They're singing Van Halen, "Running with the Devil."
So you're wondering, you're kind of thinking, I wonder if this could get any lowbrow. I wonder if this could get any worse. And then it's like they meet the guy, and he like hacks people, and like you're thinking, okay, that's what it says. People hacker. It says. And he's like,
Time out real quick. This I can add in real quick, Joe. They just so happen to get dropped off in the middle of Georgia, right? By nuns in a van, right? The dude somehow comes into contact with a dude that knows how to hack, who's playing an arcade game in the middle of a gas station.
Yes.
I don't think he knows how to hack. He just knows the correct websites to go to. Like, I don't know how to catfish people or find a catfish, but I've seen the show enough times to where I can do a reverse image search and stuff. I think that's all it is.
Okay.
Let's not overread. Hacking is for pussies, okay?
You know when they go to his place and they have his action figures, Jeremy?
Yeah.
And that's the correct term, action figures. I'm correct on that, right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Could you explain to me what our friend David Arquette is doing with the action figures there? Very interesting comedic play.
He's ruling ass with them. Look, hold on.
Wow.
I will rule. I don't have. Yes. I got the Stinger one here. I don't have another one laying around.
Bro,
I got this thing.
Bro, I thought Jeremy was about to pull out a Jimmy King action figure, bro.
I
swear,
rule
I was like,
you.
Dog, I was about to leave immediately if he would have pulled out a Jimmy King. Jesus.
If I had a Jimmy King action figure, I would 100% have put it on this show.
Real quick, is that what Warhorse get the little rule ass thing from? Is that where he gets that from?
Probably. Look, everything you've ever seen in wrestling from 2000 on, based on this film. Everything.
That part's debatable, but I'll accept the Warhorse deal. So he's hacking. He's doing that with the figures that Jeremy just explained, and then the other one is he's singing.
Britney Spears.
Yes, and I assume that the idea of this scene was, if you've just walked into the cinema and have missed the first half an hour, these two are very dumb. And I think that was the idea, I would assume, because they have just been covered in shit. So I personally, as someone that watched the film, I kind of thought, well, I'm aware they're dumb, but thanks for reiterating. I assume that was for someone who just started watching the film. I can only imagine. I don't know why we need to keep being reminded how dumb these wrestling fans are.
He's a big Britney Spears fan. I don't see what the issue is here. Okay,
fine. It's fine, Jeremy. It's fine. And then this is when they meet all the King's family, and he's a great big loser. And this is where I noted Andrew's point earlier, right? Like, what a choice it was. And Jeremy has explained it as best he can, but what a choice it was to make the wrestler also a complete loser. However, I will credit them with the line in which the young hacker man explains that his dad thinks it's a pussy move to talk on the phone for a long time.
Yakking on the phone is for pussies.
As I sit here recording a Skype podcast, I've never felt worse after hearing that line. Like, I was like, well, he's bold enough, right? I'm fair enough. But yes, that's here too.
If you ever puked, that's for pussies as well, Joseph. And yakking on the phone is for pussies too.
Okay.
No, I saw it, but the best part was actually hearing his dad in the background.
Yeah.
That was like one of the best throw-ins that they could have put in this movie, bro. Was actually having his dad call him out.
There are moments where it's like weird enough that it's funny,
the whole
right?
film.
Like no, because sometimes the humor is terrible here, and I'm glad you enjoy it, but it's very bad. But there are moments where it's so weird and off the wall that you have to laugh at. Like, everything David Arquette says in this film, he delivers it one way. Like, he's always screaming for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
It's such a strange film.
That shit got an Oscar.
Take Jeremy off the screen, bro. Take him off the screen, bro.
We need our own show. He's here for insight at this point. So there's this. They meet Jimmy King, right? And there's this little like monologue where he explains what wrestling is. And I would love to know the motivation for putting this in the film. You know the part where he's like, it's like a dance, you know, like it's all a show. someone at WCW was like, "Can you just explain that some people are aware this is not what these guys think it is?" Because it is so out of place. The rest of the film is just dumb.
So no, this is what we discussed on My Dad is a Heel Wrestler, in that everyone who like watches these films or is, you know, they all think it's a shoot. Like they treat wrestling as it's a shoot. Yeah. Jimmy King is letting everyone know it is not a shoot. Okay, it's not. So they're just cluing everybody in. Well, yeah, but then it turns into a shoot.
They work it into a shoot.
Yeah. Okay, Jabroni Marks, work yourself into a shoot. Good night, brother. HH.
Well, speaking of HH, they actually do like a sort of quiet Hogan reference. As he has explained, at one point, Jimmy King had his neck broke and returned 2 weeks later, which is a thing that Hogan actually did on WCW Nitro. The Giant legitimately broke that man's neck, and he just came back with like a brace 1 week later and was like, "I'm ready." He shaved his moustache off. This was a different time. I've got to give them credit on this. So you have this scene. They're talking to the Jimmy King, and then it just smash cuts. They're like driving, and next thing you know, they've broken into WCW Nitro.
Yeah.
Andrew, what? How? When? Why did they get in here? What is going on? When was the planning for this? And then once you say the logical point on this, please let Jeremy explain it after. That's all I need to know.
I'm gonna just go ahead and take Jeremy's whole point here. Jeremy's gonna go the route of they were smart by using their own profession, a porter patty business, to sneak this man into WCW so he could get his title. But I'm telling you, that's all Jeremy gonna say. Jeremy gonna say that is the smartest thing they could have did, and they risked their own job to get this man back his job.
Andrew knows.
Okay, fine. I accept that. How are they so far into this now? They are like just staring into the woman's locker room, and it goes on for like 15, 20 seconds, and no one cares.
They're there to check the pipes.
No, this was top 5 perverted scene, bro.
So bad.
This was bad. This was so bad.
Yeah, sometimes now when I watch films, I think to myself, sort of like, have I become the guy who's like looking to be offended? I'm not saying I'm offended by this, but you know the deal.
I know exactly what you're saying.
And then like, when it happens, it's avert, it's in your face, and then next thing you know, they close the door, and like Sean is like glaring through the door cracks. It's like this thing's, I don't know. They're saying all of the Nitro Girl stuff is pretty brutal, right? It doesn't age well.
Yeah.
So, you conceded on that one.
I mean, look, it was 2000. I'm watching it through the 2000 vision when it comes to that kind of stuff. Obviously, nowadays, don't do that shit.
Let's be fair, right? Monday Night Raw was even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, it is exactly. What it is. Oh God, I'm not doing this part. Jeremy, explain what happens at Nitro, please. This is just ridiculous.
So you got to get the camera on me, monkey, and then Diamond Dallas Page cuts the promo. This is a bad promo, by the way. It wasn't good. Then David Arquette is very offended by this promo. Jimmy King bursts out of the porta potty, whoops Dallas Page's ass. Titus Sinclair tries to get involved. Gordy and Sean get involved, put him in like a head scissors type deal. Sid gets involved, throws him around, and then we set up the big shoot fight. What's there to explain? What are you missing here, Joe? What was wrong with this?
Well, why is Dallas Page still cutting promos on Jimmy King, who has been erased from WCW history? My first question.
Is he's still part, like he beat him for the title last week. Like you gotta reiterate that, and they're trying to bury him further.
Hold on, wait. So this whole thing, all of this, from the start of the movie to the point where Diamond Dallas Page is cutting the promo after he won the world title, this is a week.
Yeah. This
man's life went downhill in the span of like 5 days.
I told you why. I already explained this.
Time out, bro. This man went downhill that bad in the span of 5 days.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I told you. I already explained all of this. He's not. His contract is done. He's not getting any money now, and he blew all of his money previously, and he didn't make enough money because Sinclair, he signed a bad deal. Sinclair negotiated the deal for Sinclair, not for King.
Okay. Why were the cameras so willing to shoot Jimmy King beating up the world champion, and why did a referee count the pin? Was it a referee or did they count it? I forget.
They counted it.
Was it ref?
No.
Okay,
they counted it. Yeah.
But why did the cameras... What's happening here, Jeremy?
You shoot the action, Joe. You shoot the action.
But Jeremy is defending this film to the death, bro.
Yes.
Because it's the perfect film. I don't know
There's
why
no
you guys are so
victory
confused.
So he's booked for MGM Grand, right? Which I assumed was Halloween Havoc until it is actually called Royal Bash.
Yeah.
Yeah, great name. And Disco Inferno, who'll also be on the distraction soon, not in person, but in a completely different format, which I cannot talk about anymore. He does the Conan deal here, where he just suddenly is in every shot of the film for 30 seconds. No matter which way you cut, Disco's staring directly at the camera. The wrestlers are very good at this. I credit them. At the MGM Grand, I mean, like you thought it was wild, Andrew, right? In a week, this whole man's life changed. In 2 minutes, he went from being unemployed to being booked for an MGM Grand main event. Pretty wild swings here, right?
Quite the swing for one Jimmy King, sir. My man got fired from his job, got shot on in the main event, but completely broke down in the span of 5 days, came back, and then now he's going to be in the main event of a WCW pay-per-view. That is very on brand. Yeah. Very on brand.
It really is. Yeah.
Jesus, Jeremy, you gotta let it go, bro.
No, look, he created his own angle here. This is what happens. This is what you do. This is Vince McMahon talking about go out, grab the brass ring, create your own opportunity. Jimmy King, he started this ruthless aggression. People are gonna credit Vince McMahon. No, Jimmy King started ruthless aggression. He was fired, kicked out of WCW, never to be seen again. What does Jimmy King do? He creates his own opportunity. He bursts onto the scene on a Nitro, starts beating up Diamond Dallas Page. Sinclair's not dumb. He knows this is the money match. He knows a shoot fight between King and Page is the money match, and he booked it like a good promoter would do. I don't see what you guys are so confused about.
Did Jeremy just cut a promo? Like, was that what that was? Because I felt the bass of his voice. Like, is Jeremy got a promo right now? But you know what, Jeremy, I'm going to let you have it, bro.
People that are watching the show, rewind like 40 seconds when I realised Jeremy was going to do a whole monologue and just watch me just like I just started scanning my notes. I was like, okay, what's next when Jeremy gets done with his promo? But it's just fun. This I feel is a big highlight for you too, Jeremy, because now they basically meet Stu Hart, right, which is Sal Bandini, wanna wrestle.
Yes.
Which I must admit, I'm not as high on this film as Jeremy, but that quote is like part of family canon for me. Yeah. I don't know why. Sal Bandini wanna wrestle is over with me.
Wait a second. You're skipping over so much here. We got a Mean Gene cameo. This was a fantastic line, by the way. The Mean Gene asking, "Do you think I'm sexy?" What a line! And then, of course, Mean Gene. Do you find Mean Gene sexy, Andrew?
Joe.
I refuse to answer out of respect for Mean Gene, but I think that silence speaks volumes in that film. Yes.
Do you want to sing the song? You skipped over the song. Do you want to sing the song?
I don't remember the song.
Jimmy King is the best wrestler. He's the bestler. Better than all the wrestlers. He's got class. Bro. He's really fast. He'll rule ass. He'll rule that ass.
Oh my God.
Jimmy.
This is out of hand.
Jimmy King.
Wow.
Still working on that last part.
I am regretting agreeing to this podcast.
This show does not go up until Tuesday. I'm cutting that immediately when we get done recording, and I'm gonna put it on Twitter. I'm so proud of that moment.
No, please no, please.
It's insane. I don't know what to say.
Spare me. Don't let him do it, Joe. Joe, don't let him.
Joe has no control over this.
From the video.
Joe has no control over this.
It's going to just become a Jeremy solo vehicle in which, when we're talking, it's silent and it's just him like watching along, answering our questions, but no one hears the question. That's what I'm thinking. So, is there anything else I missed here, Jeremy? Before we get to
Sal Bandini? We're at Sal Bandini. Want to wrestle?
Want to wrestle? Yeah. Okay. He beats everyone up. He beats the high school team up. He beats Jimmy up. Jimmy is a great big coward. He's a fraud. And then I pass the ball back to you because my next note, genuinely, is Arquette goes on date, ask Jeremy to guide through this. Genuinely what it says, I refuse. I said, I'm not watching this. And I heard the foreign objects line, which is a classic. But yes, please help.
He goes on the date. He lets Sasha, Rose McGowan know that they're training with Sal Bandini. This is all a ploy for Rose McGowan to get close to David Arquette so they could sabotage Jimmy King's training. Again, what is confusing about this?
Nothing confusing. I thought you were going to give more than that. I expected dialogue on that scene. I feel like that would be one of your favourites.
Oh, I mean, there's dialogue there. The taking to the bedroom, the foreign object stuff. The he buys, I forget what he buys, but the flower shop was closed, so he gets her something else. It's I'm not big on like quoting dialogue unless I'm really
You'll happily sing a song from the
I'll
film.
sing all day.
Yes.
Jeez,
Andrew is fed up with this.
But this movie is so bad, bro. Like, I cannot explain how bad this movie. I tried to get into it like the first couple 20, 30 minutes, but I was like, Jesus.
Do you want me to growl like David Arquette? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Andrew, did you spot John Cena's cameo in this film? He makes a brief cameo. Did you spot this?
No, I did not.
Jeremy, take it away.
Yeah, so when they meet Big Bill Goldberg, in the gym, in the background there is a young John Cena with the blonde, I guess he has like the mohawk or something, or the spike hair. Prototype John Cena is in the background working out.
Yes.
That's it.
My question to you is, what percentage of your fandom of this film is made up by John Cena's 20-second cameo?
Not much, because I did not know he was in this film until much later in my life. So it increases it, obviously, but I did not know he was in, like, when I watched it all throughout my childhood, I did not know John Cena was in that scene.
Before we move on, Jeremy, you've now seen 3 Bill Goldberg performances on this show. You've seen Santa's Sleigh, in which he is a murderous Santa Claus. You have seen Firefly Funhouse, the movie, in which he shows up to destroy the clown. And you have also seen now this, your favourite Bill Goldberg performance in Distraction history.
Santa Sleigh, because he just goes around killing people. And I love that kind of stuff when we review these movies.
Fair. Okay, Phil, we go back to Sal Bandini, want to wrestle. Saturn and Sid attack him and win, right? They win here.
Yeah.
Very happy to see Sid get his arm raised here. And then the whole conspiracy is revealed, where she's doing this and that and the next thing, which you've already explained.
Here's a note from the commentary that will forever stick with me, and I don't know why.
Okay.
When she's on the phone talking to Sinclair, and they reveal the plot and stuff, and Rose McGowan or Sinclair is like, "What do you think of Head Nitro Girl?" Right?
Yeah.
The original line, her response was, "That's better than Nitro Head Girl." They took that line out of the film.
I'm glad.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad as well. I'm letting you know that was an original line that was going to be in the film.
This is really dark now, because I'm looking at my notes and I'm just like, I don't know where we go from here, Jeremy. I mean, I'm fine. I am happy to have the ball in my hands here, right?
You crushed my Butterfingers, baby.
Yes, that also happened. So, okay. So then they go to Jimmy's family, right? Is that next?
Yeah.
Or to his wife, at least?
Yeah.
He gets kicked in the dick.
Twice. Sounds like yes. Richard Petty ran 400 miles per hour into my balls.
Yes. Sean then... what does Sean do? I don't even know it. Oh, no, Sean doesn't do anything. David Arquette leaves. While Sean and Wendy finally get together. Is this correct? Am I correct on
yes.
this, Jeremy?
Yes.
Andrew, at this point in the film, because I know where I was at this point, and this is when they begin to like spar, and it's like Wyoming and all this great stuff. How checked out are you at this point in the film? Like, how far past caring are you?
I am completely out of this film by now, but I mean, at least the dude Sean finally realized that. The Wendy actually liked them, so that's a plus for the film. Something that actually makes sense. There we go.
Do you know who Brittany is in real life?
No,
I do not.
Kid Rock's sister.
Of course, great stat nugget. I appreciate it.
Just letting you know.
This is like your specialist subject, isn't it?
Yes,
this is it.
Yes.
You need to do a wrestling trivia show that is exclusively ready to run.
Oh, that would be great. They want me on Wrestle Quiz or Quizlemania or whatever that thing's called. And I'm terrible.
You're a big star now. You getting that kind of gig? Where's the Hulbert invite on that one? Huh? This is production meeting stuff. John. This shouldn't be on air. You're a big star.
I don't know who
I'm now on the show
actually.
with two big stars. This is very
I
tough.
don't know who actually wants me on Quizzlemania. I've just heard it been bandied around, and I'm terrible at wrestling trivia. Legitimately, if it's all ready to rumble, I'm there in a heartbeat.
I love that Jeremy's now like just doing free agent speculation live on air. Like, I've heard people talking about bringing me on.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
So yes, then we get to Royal Bash.
We're not gonna talk about Fireman Fred or boobing people to death.
No. Just go to Royal Bash. Just go to
No,
Royal Bash.
The boob deal is just like, man, had they not done enough at this point? Like seriously,
We saw Scott Cann's ass, you know?
Yep, we did. Yep. So I'm no detective, but I would suggest that this event did not actually take place at MGM Grand because it looks awful similar to a WCW 2000 show, and that is the greatest insult I can throw at any wrestling show. It doesn't look like many people are in attendance for this one, but that's fine. How great is the scene in which Sting, in full gimmick, with his baseball bat in his hand, his jacket, his paint, Sinclair is circling him and actually threatens to kill him if he doesn't take his side.
Yeah. He said, "I will kill you if you fuck this up."
It's the best. It's moments like that where I actually realise, like, who is this film for? And it's you, I see, right?
Yeah, legitimately just me. They made a film
like,
just to pop me.
I will kill you if you fuck this up. Like, what?
Bro, this is so bad, bro. and it's wild because that Sting part was probably the most enjoyable part of the movie.
Yes.
He threatened to kill this man if he messed this thing. I was like, Jesus. This was the point when I was moving the mouse so I could just see how much time was left. I was like, Jesus.
The best thing is, it's been explained to us that wrestling isn't real and Jimmy King is playing a character, but Sting is like actually Sting. Like, he's threatened death and he's just like, just stoic Sting. He won't sell. He's in the rafters, right? He doesn't care. Sean is dressed like Father James Mitchell. Correct? True or false, guys? Is this true? The red suit deal, right?
That's factual.
A bright
factual.
Father James Mitchell. Yeah.
Okay.
You know who he's actually dressed like? He looks like he's dressed, you know the Lex Luger promo, the infamous one where he can't get it, the t-shirts are too tight,
Yeah.
Billy? He looks like that guy. That's the guy. The
Okay.
interviewer guy.
That works too. I have a question. You know, like, so he comes out with his new manager. Well, he's not officially his new manager, but he's his manager for this match. He has the red suit. Jeremy, did they get vignettes of Jimmy King's training in order for people to know who these guys were? Or was that not a part of the plan here? Because this is a pay-per-view main event, right? And out comes Jimmy King with a man in a red suit who has never been introduced before. I don't think Mike Tenay should want to do this. I could be wrong. What happened here, Jeremy? Was this bad booking? Was this...
They had
what happened?
They did have the vignettes. It wasn't in the movie, though. Like, if you watch the pre-match video package on the director's cut, it's there, but it's not on the regular portion of this film. They do have the pre-match video package, though. Jimmy King is sitting there talking how he's going over his game plan and stuff. He's like, Dom Dallas Page last time surprised me. They screwed me over. You know, I thought we were going to work a match. They shot on me. Not this time. I know what to expect this time. It's a fight this time.
Okay, fine. So
Diamond Dallas Page is like monkey, harpoon, whale, all that stuff.
Why was there not a reaction when Jimmy King's son Swerve turned heel on him? And how could this possibly have got so heavy that Sinclair was like, yes, let's get in Jimmy's incompetent son and put him under a hood here. That's what we should do. What is happening, Jeremy?
There's not a reaction because they didn't really know. Like that, the son was not part of the pre-match video package.
Andrew, do you have anything to say about this match? Because I don't, and we should just let Jeremy go here, right? Do you have anything on the closing match here?
I think we need to just let Jeremy take the reign because at this point of the film, the last thing I remember before I fell asleep was they were coming out. so I did not see the last whatever minutes of this film because I was in my dreams. So
guys, what's that? What's that?
This is Diamond Dallas Page. Is that what that is?
What is that?
Dude, just do the line, Jeremy. Just
Diamond upside down is a pussy.
A real line in the middle of the closing sequence.
That's a legitimate line in the film.
Jesus Christ, bro.
So yes, this is very overbooked. This match, would you agree, Jeremy? Lots of run-ins here for a big cage match.
It's the cage. Jimmy King can only win this match if you climb up to the cage of death, which is on top of another cage, which is yet on top of another cage. That is how Sinclair sets this up.
Somebody got to stop this man, bro. He's a menace. Jeremy is a menace, bro. Somebody got to stop him. Somebody got to stop him.
It's overbooked. Yes, it's overbooked, but I mean, it's a WCW main event. What do you expect it to be? You know?
I agree. I have a point in that regard to finish this show in a moment. But first, so they take some hellacious bumps here, right? They take, King takes one from one cage to another, so does DDP, and then DDP takes
he goes
where it
through.
appears he's going to spike himself, right? He's going up this way and then he just lands on his back.
Yeah.
Close shave there, Jeremy. Could have been bad for DDP. Sting, we have the Sting interference in which he says Jimmy King's all right by me, and then he punches them both because they are dumb. I like Sting. That's my note. Sinclair gets thrown into the crowd after DDP almost dies. And then it is announced that even though David Arquette cannot wrestle, he is the official tag team partner of Jimmy King moving forward.
Why can't he wrestle?
He appears... Well, wrestling's a work, remember? Jimmy King explained that. This was just a one-off shoot fight. So he has no training, Jeremy.
Train with Sal Bandini.
I almost got you there. There was a slight hesitation there. I was like, that's tough. Okay.
He just trains with Sal Bandini. He can wrestle.
He appears to be doing a big boss man character, which is something. DDP is alive, and Sean is the manager of Jimmy King's tag team with David Arquette. Do you guys know DDP's alternate finish for this film? It's a real question.
His what?
He's booked a finish to this film that he suggested while filming this film. That it was really like he said it in interviews years ago, and it's changed the film for me forever.
No, what is it?
His suggestion was that after they did their big promo, and you get the shot of DDP like looking over his shoulder, back at them, that whole deal, they would walk through the curtain, and DDP would be waiting for them, and like shake hands with all the boys, and he'd be like, "Welcome to the business, guys." And when I heard this, I was like, maybe that's good. Would this film be better if all of the nonsensical stuff was explained at the end because they were actually just caught up in the work? It was an idea all along. I don't know. Because all I will say is, if the angle was this guy got screwed, that is like very WCW, right? Like they did stuff like that all the time when they did the work to shoot nonsense. Well, I kind of think that would make this film better, which is maybe not hard. But Jeremy, you're the aficionado. So I'll let you finish on that statement. But Andrew, is this film better or worse if it's explained that it was all a work and these two dipshits just fell into the trap? That's what I'm...
I honestly, bro, if they did that at the end, I would say it would be a slight improvement because it just shows that they just got too much into it. But I don't think anything can change this. But Jeremy, I'm sure Jeremy has far different views.
I bet he hates it.
Yeah, I don't like that finish. No. Why are you gonna ruin the magic of everything? So then it's just all a work. Then we don't get the Zapta brother getting thrown out of the store. We don't get Sal Bandini and the jacuzzi and all that stuff. It just ends with, oh hey, we're all friends and stuff, and these two fans, they just got work. No, that's dumb. I'm glad. Look, Diamond Dallas Page has seemingly done great things in wrestling. I don't know, but thank God he did not write the end of this film. Thank God.
Wow,
oh
I didn't realize you were so into this film that finish would offend you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Okay, it's fine.
This film right here is exactly the reason why DDP debuted in WWE the way he did, stalking the Undertaker's wife. I'm telling you, this film set him up.
He probably wrote that
bro.
based on his idea
Vince
here.
Watched this film and thought DDP was a career heel. This is what he thought the character was. He's like, he's like a shooter. Have you not seen Reddit or Rumble? This is it. This is DDP. Bring him as a stalker. That'll work.
Oh my goodness.
So I think the next subject to kind of conclude this whole thing on is, and this is the big question. So Andrew, how much of the on-air stuff have you seen of David Arquette actually winning the title? Have you seen any of that stuff, that terrible stuff that they did to promote this film?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremy, now think here, okay?
That's asking a lot.
I understand you like this film. That's fine. I'm sure a lot of people that watch this also. I'm sure a lot of people that watch this show will also like it. However, does your fandom for this film extend far enough that you enjoy David Arquette winning the WCW heavyweight title?
Jeremy, don't do it, bro. Just Jeremy, don't do it.
At this point,
Don't do it, bro.
at this point, WCW was just dead and buried. So
Okay.
the fact that David Arquette won the title was just hilarious to me. That they would actually go that far in trying to promote this film. Obviously, looking back, it was a dumb idea. It was stupid. Here's my theory here. David Arquette should have won an Oscar for this film. I'm on record of saying this multiple times. He didn't.
On record.
He didn't win an Oscar. WCW knew he should have won an Oscar. By the way, they got Courtney Cox on Nitro at like peak Friends during this whole bit. He didn't win the Oscar. They knew he should have won. They felt bad for him and gave him the world title instead. That's my theory.
Okay. How did you feel when then, after losing the title, David Arquette then turns heel and actually does like a Russo swerve on DDP?
Yeah, see, this was
triple cage match.
in the triple cage match. This was the big. This is probably Page's booking. He's like, "You got two inside. We're not actually friends." Look, Arquette got the title. That whole thing made no sense. I can't even try to defend it. It made no sense.
Jesus,
it was
Jeremy. I thought you was about to go the whole mile, bro, and like really try to defend this man.
That was so dumb. I cackled when I legitimately ordered that pay-per-view too. Like, I wasn't ordering any WCW pay-per-views at the time because it had gone completely off the rails. When I saw triple cage match though, I was like, I'm in.
Just conceptually, there is an interest to it, right? Like, the idea of it is so insane. It's like, okay, 3 cages.
Can I switch our retro review to this week to the triple cage match?
That's fine.
All right, we're going to do that now instead of the monster truck match.
Next week. Yeah, I'll do that next week. That's fine. What you take me off? So I wanted to point out that Vince Russo definitely watched this show and was like, Jeremy is going to defend Arquette winning the title. Like, he's watching it, he's nodding along, he's like, yeah, that makes sense. I agree, Jeremy. Yes, that's true. I like that too. And then it gets to the moment. And it's like, Jeremy, did you like the actual WCW stuff? You're like, no, I can't do it. I'm sorry. Vince has just thrown his laptop across the room. He's devastated. I'm sure. But, yeah, this film
He's going to
sucks.
send me a DM and be like, why didn't you defend it?
So this film sucks.
Be a bang you for coming on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be a tough loss. I appreciate that some people have such nostalgia for this that they still enjoy it, and that's fine. I cannot enjoy this film any longer. I'm sorry, I'll probably never watch this film again. I'm sorry to Andrew that we put you through this, both the review and the watch itself.
Oh my goodness, man.
What did you expect? Is this worse than you expected it to be? Both the podcast and the film?
So let's get to the film first. Firstly, this was far much worse than what I expected it was going to be. Like, because I've always heard about this film, but I did not think it was going to be this bad. And like, just like within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, because Jeremy told me that you picked this film, I was like, me and Joe got beef. Firstly, just because of this film, and then the podcast, the audacity of Mr. Jeremy Lambert to come on here and defend this nonsense. And try to present it in a light as if it was good. The acting was good. The directing was good. Jimmy King was the most perfect character in wrestling movie history. And he's shaking his head right now.
Wow.
All that's true.
This is the last movie review I ever do. Ever. I will no longer review any film of any liking. I'm done. I am done.
Andrew's banned himself from movie reviews.
I'm banning myself from every movie review ever, bro. This was horrible. This film was bad. I enjoyed the jokes, of course, that you guys, but this movie was trash. Jeremy, I don't know how you did it. And Jeremy, I'm just worried how many times you saw this throughout the years, and there's 2 decades that this film has been out. How many times have you seen this?
Legitimately, when I was a kid, I still do this to this day. I'll play video games and I'll just have on like a movie or something, because I always play sports games and I don't care about sports commentary on video games. And so I'll have on like a movie or a show. Every single time I would play video games, which was a lot as a kid because I was a loser, I would have this film on. And that's why I could know like the DVD commentary and stuff. I cannot tell you how many times I saw this film as a child. Over the years, it's gotten less and less. I did I've reviewed this film before on a podcast, like no lie. People know that I like enjoy this film and are like, hey, come on and review it for this podcast. So I've reviewed this film on podcasts before. So I haven't seen it as often over the years. When I was younger though, I legit would watch this film like 3 times a week. I'm not even lying.
Jesus. But you want to know what, Jeremy? I'm about to kill your fandom of this movie. This was not the best movie of 2000, right? This was not the best movie. The best movie to come out of the year 2000. And there is no debating this. So don't even try to throw your answers out there. The best movie of 2000, 100% was Dude, Where's My Car?
That was a good film.
Best movie.
That was really
that
good.
was the best movie to come out
Was
of
that
2000.
2000?
I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was that. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
good film though. How did you watch this film, Andrew? And by that I mean, was your mind clear?
Yeah, 100%. I was like half asleep though,
Okay.
and I was like, and then the worst thing about it was, right. So the journey of trying to find a way to watch this film, right. Jeremy sent me a link, right.
I sent you the DVD. Let's not get ourselves in trouble here.
Jeremy sent me the DVD link, right?
Yeah.
And the DVD link didn't work.
Oh, really?
So
That's how I watched it.
this link would cause my my Norton security system of my computer to bug
That
out.
sounds about right.
So I had to find another DVD, right? So ultimately, I ended up having to go to Amazon and renting this movie.
You
for
paid
$2.99.
for it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, wait. I can't say that on air, but I did not pay for it.
Okay.
I found a way to watch this film,
It's
but I
on-
did not pay for it.
It's on HBO Max, I heard. I don't know if anybody has
It is.
HBO Max, but
This is where the real swerve occurs,
Yes.
folks, because this is Jeremy's favourite film. I own this film. I have the physical media of this film. I have this actual film. And best of all, okay, is that Andrew was talking about he almost had to rent this deal, right? Almost had to rent it. Jeremy knows I have legitimately paid money and watched films on this show before. If my relief could have been captured as I realised I actually owned Ready to Rumble. Good Lord, what a feat that was. I didn't realise, I thought that would make me the fan of the film on here, and here I am. Opposite Jeremy, he's like throwing stats at me, he's talking about relations to the cast. Wow, I'm just glad that no one paid for this. Like, currently. At some point, I still paid for it.
Joe, my disappointment level in you right now is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
but
It's
Jeremy, there are so many movies, bro. So many movies that we could have selected, and we chose Ready to Rumble by David Arquette.
it's Joseph's fault.
And Joseph's fault, man. Joseph's fault. But I did hear that his new documentary is kind of good though. The David Arquette one. People said that was kind of good, like his little redemption story through wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
We should stress that we all have no issue with David Arquette, right?
should've
This
won
is
an
not
Oscar.
like
right, yeah.
I know that it was a thing for a while where he was like the go-to laughing stock of wrestling because he was just a name that had won the belt. But I think everyone now is like past that, right? They kind of appreciate that he knew it was a tough outing for him to win the title.
Yeah.
He did the right stuff with the money, all that good stuff. David Arquette, if you're still watching this show,
He is.
Mm-hmm.
I apologise to bring this back up. I'm very sorry, but Jeremy likes it very much. So I thought I'm just glad he enjoyed himself. That's all that matters to me. Jeremy, what are you looking at? This is very scary.
I'm looking
Your
at
eyes are racing.
the film for next week. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to do ratings, Andrew? You're part of the rating system now.
Yes. And you can
Well-
choose what you rate. But Jeremy doesn't have a system. He just gives a number and people have to guess what his top rating is. It's
I
very
give
odd.
stars. I give stars.
You give stars,
Yeah.
yes. So you can rate however you want. I do 1 to 10. Jeremy does stars. Endless amount of stars. So do what you want to do here.
Andrew, what is your rating on this film? It's your own scale. It doesn't have to make sense. It can just be anything. You can legitimately rate it McDonald's if you want. I don't know.
If I'm rating this film, right, I'm gonna just keep it simple for the folks that's watching. I'm rating this film is a -5 for me out of 10.
All right.
This film was atrocious. So nah,
Wow.
you know what? I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
1.5
out of 10. 1.5 out of 10.
Okay. Joseph,
1.5.
what is your rating for this film?
See, this is where it gets tough for me, right? Because I have reviewed many terrible, terrible films on this show. And
Yeah, would you
I want to
like...
be fair. Yes, I would like some help. So here's the
Okay.
thing. This is not in the top 5 worst films I've reviewed on here.
All
So,
right.
Andrew, think about the stuff I've experienced, the darkness that I've shared here with Jeremy. What did I give The Chaperone?
The Chaperone was a 4.
Hold on, wait, was the shot? Was that with Triple H?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
That was one of our first
Jesus.
film reviews. Actually, it was legitimately our second film review, The Chaperone.
Yes. That is worse than this film. Would you? I mean, Jeremy agrees. Andrew, I hope you haven't seen The Chaperone, so you have to take my word
I
for
have
it.
not.
Okay. What else have I given a 5? Jeremy?
5,
What film?
Suburban Commando, Santa's Little Helper are both 5s. And No Holds Barred.
Bro.
And No Holds Barred was 5.
Why do y'all do this to yourselves? What are these selections?
Are you kidding me? This is like the best podcast we do every single week. I'd much rather do this podcast than the Thursday one where we just
this
talk about
started
wrestling.
From we were doing daily pods during the start of the pandemic, and I watched the Big Show's show
Yeah.
and tweeted about it. My tweet went so out of control because Sean retweeted it, I guess. They ended up on news reports. Jeremy, have I sent you this link? There is an article that says fans react to Big Show's show.
Really?
Some people were positive, some people negative. Some people left it up to you to decide what they were. And there's a picture of my tweet, which is Jim Ross sort of. It's a long story.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember
Very
the
tough
tweet.
vote. Yes. And that led to us reviewing that. And we have now reviewed a film since then every single week.
Yeah.
Unless I'm
No.
almost every week. So
Yeah.
here we are. I would say, based on the fact I give Noah's Bard a 5, that this is also a 5.
All right. A cowardly rating. I understand.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no, you can never call a man a coward after he's watched this film and reviewed it. Okay, give me enough respect on that. Let's be clear here.
Here we go, folks.
Jeremy, what are you giving this thing?
The highest rated film I've given was Money Plane at 15 stars. All right.
Money Plane was good. Money Plane was good.
It's a
That was
15-star film. I agree.
That was
Great.
Matter of fact, hey Jared, real quick before I put you on the spot, I'm gonna make you choose, right? And you gotta choose. You can't play the middle.
I don't play the middle.
This Ready to Rumble or the First Marine with John Cena.
I haven't seen the first Marine with John Cena in forever. But I'm gonna make my decision right here when I give my star rating. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
15 stars. Money Plane, highest one I've ever given. This is gonna beat Money Plane.
Jesus.
This is the pinnacle of pinnacle when it comes to films starring wrestlers. Not 15 stars. Not 16 stars. Not even 17 stars. 1, 0, 0 stars. 100 stars for Ready to Rumble. Andrew just quit. He quit the podcast.
Fair, very fair. I mean, I'm
There,
with
he's
his
back.
decision. I'm glad he's returned, but I was with his decision. I almost joined him.
100 stars. This film, it'll never be topped. All right, I can't imagine a film of this caliber that we will review ever again. I can't imagine a film of this caliber that'll ever be shot, be made, be produced, be put on the screens for people to watch. Never in the history of filmmaking will a movie come out that is better than Ready to Rumble.
We have nothing, but we're not going to give you a promo back. We're fine. We at this point we've lost. We know there's no victory to be had here. Okay, it's fine. Where do we go from here, though? Is the question. This,
Down.
Jeremy, I know that people are watching this next week. I understand that. This isn't even the best film we've reviewed this
It
week.
is. I just said it was.
That.
I just said it
No,
was.
it's not better. You genuinely, in your heart, know this is not the best film we've watched and reviewed this week. But you've lost it. This is the end.
Has any other film gotten 100 stars?
No.
Okay.
In the history of the world, no one does a 100-star system to begin with. I'm now doing the promo. What do I do?
I do.
Okay,
Get him,
fine.
Joe.
This
Get him, Joe.
is the end. I don't know where we go from. This is the equivalent of when I started liking Bray Wyatt on the wrestling podcast. It's the end. We've both now finished. Our runs are concluded. This is very. Here's my pitch. The distraction should now be Andrew Thompson and Michael Thompson talking wrestling every week. I think we're done. I think this is the end of us. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But That's fine. You're picking the next film,
my
so
goodness,
Yeah.
I've picked a 100-star film on your scale.
Jesus,
Okay, that's
man.
fine.
Jeremy, give me a hint about the next film.
Oh, I'm gonna
That's,
say it. I'm gonna say it. We talked about this
Okay.
man off air actually. The alleged smartest man in wrestling, Mayor Kane, and maybe another very smart man in wrestling, Nick Nemeth. Countdown.
I've seen this film.
Have you really? Kane and
I've
Dolph
seen this
Ziggler? I can't
Yeah.
imagine this being good. This got to be god awful.
I tuned
I-
into this film hoping it'd be funny. Can confirm, no fun.
Oh.
We'll get into that.
All
We're just gonna
right.
say
Well, what can you do?
Man, I was just, I thought when you said Kane, I thought you were, the first thing that came to my mind, I thought you were gonna say "See No Evil."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
that's decent.
I was more into that idea. I was very sad when I followed up with the Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm
Oh, my
very
goodness,
concerned
man.
about where we're headed here.
I mean, it's all
this was a big
downhill.
show.
I didn't want to
Yes.
do
Oh.
Ready to Rumble until like the very end because I knew it was just gonna break everything. You ruined it.
Wow, and you didn't even want to tell me that. You were just like, let's leave it. Let's just have
Yeah.
Andrew review Reddit Rumble.
Yeah, no, I left it. It's your choice. I'm not gonna step on that. You made the choice. That's fine. I wasn't gonna argue with it.
I'm so thankful, but by the time this releases, I'll remember none of it. Like, I'll be so removed from this. I hope you're the same, Andrew. But by the time this drops, just retweet the link and be like, I'm done. It's erased from memory.
I'm not retweeting this.
Andrew's just
No,
embarrassed to be part of this podcast.
First of all, let me just say, I always like doing a podcast with Joe and Jeremy, two solid dudes. Two of my favorite people in wrestling, two of my favorite people overall. But dog, this was bad. This film. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I say him. How long was this? Like an hour, 47 minutes?
The
Almost
film.
2 hours.
Yeah, the podcast is an hour and 11 minutes right now.
Jesus.
No,
man, I
it
was talking
is.
about
Oh, God.
This is the longest we've
it-
actually talked about like a film. Like usually we're done with the film portion in like 40 minutes and then we just bullshit about everything else. We've actually done an hour and 10 minutes on like the actual film.
This has been very
Andrew,
sad.
we'll have you on the wrestling podcast to talk actual What do you think of Clash of Champions on Sunday?
Here we go. Is it? Oh, I forgot. So this coming out.
Yeah, this is on. Clash of Champions has happened. What title did Alexa Bliss win, Joe?
I think she beat Roman, right? Didn't she?
Is that who she beat?
Didn't she cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase that she won on the pre-show that night? Was that
Right.
what happened? I don't know.
Okay.
2 days ago now.
Yeah.
I think she beat Roman with the knockout punch.
Okay.
I think in a last man standing match. That's what I heard. Well, I haven't seen it yet. I have to watch that before Thursday, like I do everything else.
Andrew, we're gonna have you on the actual wrestling show because I feel bad that you had to sit through this film and then be part of this podcast.
I honestly was not expecting this film to be what it was. I was expecting something decent. I really was. I was excited. I had my food beside me. I was like, but it's about to be it.
Look, next time you see this film, we'll be in Baltimore. I'll make sure you have some good food beside you, and by that I mean stuff that'll
Starcast.
Yes, Starcast, whenever that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're going to rewatch
that's
this film,
Starcast,
Andrew.
please.
When we're together, we're going to rewatch this film, and we're going to be in the right mind state for this film, and you'll enjoy it a lot more, all right?
That sounds like a threat. It really does sound
Well,
like
I
a
tried to
threat.
kidnap Andrew at the last Starcast.
See, he took this picture of me, bro. Where this picture was like it's supposed to be us connecting in real life, right? Took this picture of me. I look frightened in the picture. And he posted the picture on the internet. And immediately when I saw it, I texted him. I was like, "Take that shit down." Like
You didn't text me. I was
like
standing
now.
right beside you. You
He
were
was
like,
standing right beside
yeah.
me when that happened. I was like, "Please take that down." And then we took another way and it actually looked decent. And I was like, "There we go. You leave that up." But that picture was horrible. And I'm glad he no longer has it.
No, I was
You
gonna
should be
post it.
scared.
I was gonna post it on your birthday on Twitter,
Oh,
and I
thank
deleted
God.
it. You legitimately like made me delete it from my phone, so it just
Oh.
got erased from history. So yeah, I didn't have it anymore. I should actually check my computer and see if it like got saved to the cloud or something. But
Lord, no. Keep
But
that in
you
the
should
phone.
be scared now. You should now. He's now threatening you with Reddit Rumble. He's saying he will find you and make you watch Reddit Rumble, which is the ultimate threat. In
but I'm gonna
wrestling
make you
media.
watch it in the way it should be watched.
Oh, Jesus. The next Starcast, I'm making sure to have the security desk to make sure they protect my room. No DVDs delivered to my room. Jeremy gonna hack into the cable system, make sure every TV in the hotel has Ready to Rumble on repeat. This film was terrible, bro. And Joe, the fact that you had this film on DVD form, I was expecting you to be like the same person on this podcast, like 30 minutes through when I started figuring out Jeremy's motives. But like now, Joe, I'm very disappointed. I'm like extremely disappointed.
You should be. I do this every week with Jeremy. You should not expect that I'm sane. This is what I do. Okay. There are times where I may be sort of respectable enough, and Jeremy does this other times when I lose my way to sort of guide things on the right track. You know, we are professionals, so to speak. But at the end of the day, I am a fool.
Quick plug, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, you did an excellent feature on Jey Uso this week.
Yes.
Took the time to read that. That was excellent.
Thank you. Do you see that, Jeremy? He plugged it for me there. Do you see that? He did like a cosign. Now I can talk about it freely. This is very good.
Talk about it freely before.
No, you never let me.
You always
introduce it as, Joe's done one of those things again, no one reads, and I have to sort of fight uphill. No, yes, Jey Uso feature. I think I've spoken about it already. I have no controversial Twitter remarks to say. I have nothing funny to say. I have been warned. I am a professional. Read my features. Or don't and just retweet them.
You got in trouble. You got in trouble on Twitter last night for your tweets during WWE Raw. So.
Oh, okay, good. Sorry, I was very, very scared. Very
I fooled you with the bit. I fooled you.
Because I actually watched Raw yesterday and I was thinking, what did I tweet about Raw? That's very scary. Yes, no Twitter controversy. I'm no longer Twitter famous. I'm a content creator again. Jeremy, as you know, feature is out. Andrew, you have a plug. This is where we now pass the ball. Jeremy, you're playing off ball here for a second. Andrew, you're a big star now. You have your own show with a cool graphic. Very cool graphic.
That graphic is awesome.
It is. Tell us about your show, and hopefully people will go across, because that will be better than this, I would assume.
Man,
much better.
Me and Martin Bush, we from Post Wrestling, just do a monthly review of like throwback wrestling shows. Like we're gonna go to ROH, we're gonna go to New Japan, we're gonna do a bunch of just throwback reviews once every month. And Joe and Jeremy, you guys will be guests on the show as well as some other people.
As I said, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're coming after us.
No, look, the one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to have just a variety of guests on there, and then I'm sure want to have people I got like chemistry with on the podcast, along with me and Martin, so it could just be smooth as ice. So, but I'm looking forward to doing more shows, man. It was a good first show, real solid first show. And the one thing I really enjoyed about it was the Triple H Booker T talk that we had. Like that was like a 40-minute, well, not even, I'm not guessing, it was probably like 25 minutes that we just talked about that whole situation and seeing how like Triple H's promo, the infamous promo that everybody knows that he cut on Booker T, and then kind of seeing how Booker T kind of reacts to Naomi and Big E and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's just seeing those clashes right there. And it's just weird, like looking back at that and just knowing like seeing what happened to Booker T and how he kind of views that situation as just business. And then how he kind of like contradicts himself in that in a way slightly by critiquing Naomi and Big E for getting like a natural fan reaction. Like it was weird. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite parts about the podcast.
Yeah, I don't want to like step on that, but I want people to go and listen to that conversation. But it is interesting, so I'll ask quick. Like, do you think, like, when he says it's just business and he views it as like another program that he had, even though his whole fan base sees it as something completely different?
Right.
But is he deluded, or is he like just actively ignoring the truth for the sake of his own like career? I actually feel the need to ask.
Honestly, bro, I think you hit it like right on the head. He probably just saying it just to like not infuriate those who he works for. Because like I know Booker T, he's openly stated that he's like under contract until like 2027. Like, so I don't think he's saying like anything to the level where it could draw controversy to that level to bring that back to WWE. Because like because I've read the promo during the podcast like verbatim, and like just hearing that like now. It's like, dog, like Triple H was saying, like he had a nappy head and like tell him dance for me and the people like you and you know what I'm saying, like just hearing that stuff. And I'm like, and I remember, I think somewhere during the interview he said that he meant when he said people like you, he meant WCW guys, but I think it's just complete, like just false. Like I don't think that makes any sense. I think we all know what Triple H was saying when he meant you people, referring to Booker T. But like just seeing how Booker T kind of views it. it is kind of like I don't want to say it's disappointing. I think that's the right word, is to see how he kind of reacts to the situation. It's just business when that man blatantly was like the main point we made during the podcast was like, if you were gonna go that far as like bringing, you know, indirect racist comments into the conversation, the least that should have happened at the end of this was Booker T winning the world title.
Yeah.
He won like and then at that we talked about at the end as well. It's like, dude, Triple H hit him with the pedigree and then pinned him to like 20 seconds later, and then rolled over and then pinned him, and then you got Earl Hebner doing this traditional slow count, which made it worse. I'm like, dude, like, but it's just crazy seeing how Booker T views that stuff now, and then how he critiques, you know, again, Big E, Naomi, and stuff.
It always, again, this is now going to take, but just quickly before, it's also, the relevance of that is very much heightened by the fact that we know how much influence Triple H had on his presentation at that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is not one of the soldiers on the battlefield getting a script and saying, you want me to say that? Okay, I'll do my job. This is a guy who was guiding things for himself, was dressing up as Ric Flair for a living, and now has a real influence on the industry. It's a topic that, even though we're all aware of it, it's too often put alongside just like dumb wrestling decisions. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, people go like, oh, Goldberg shouldn't have lost to the streak. There's a much bigger topic around that whole Triple H Booker T thing that I'm glad you kind of tackled on the show. But it's, the Booker thing's frustrating, right? I think sometimes his opinions are just like an old school wrestling guy. You know, the Big E deal?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just him, like, he sees it a certain way, right? Which is hilarious because he dressed up as the king to do.
Stole Jimmy King's bit.
I think people got really sad. Isn't him saying that Naomi has holes in her game. I think people got sad that he was mad that she had a support, right? That was the thing that I think people didn't like. Right. I just because
it was that and the whole like wait. It was almost like a wait your turn opportunities. Like she's been there for 9 years. What are you talking about? Listen to. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Jeremy. I was going to follow up out of you.
Oh, I was just going to say, everyone go to Post Wrestling, listen to Andrew's podcast with Martin Bushby, and go to Post Wrestling, check out the news report Andrew does. It seems like every day now, but what days is it actually?
I'm doing Tuesday. It's like varies now because they doing the they do the G1 post shows. Like I don't know how John and Wade do that, dog. Like they stay up and like legit watch the shows and then do a review like right after I don't know how they do it. So I just do it for the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday doing the update. So yeah,
there you go. Go check Andrew's updates daily. So much news in them. No one gathers, listens, transcribes, pieces together news like Andrew Thompson does. Check out the YouTube site. Got interviews up weekly. What's a YouTube site, Andrew?
Andrew Thompson interviews, man. I appreciate the plug. But ladies and gentlemen, let's not gloss over this man, Jeremy Lambert's work. One of the best headline writers I know. Legit one of the best headline.
This is the problem. We just do this compliment circle.
No, because look, I would not let this man sit here and just put my work over like he doesn't do great work himself. I refuse. And so it's same thing with Joe. Joe is like one of the best. Joe and Phil Lindsay from Daily DDT and Sportskeeda is like one of my favorite feature writers. You and Joe, I love that stuff y'all do. Because I honestly, bro, like I wish I could do like feature stuff, but I feel like it takes me like a long time to try to get it. But y'all do that like so seamlessly, and like it's like real cool to see, honestly.
This isn't actually me doing a bit because I know we just joked about the fact we all compliment each other, but Phil is like, his work rate on those is extraordinary because he's actually doing like a range of stuff, and then he's like, okay, now let's do a feature. Like, I don't have to do any of that. I talk about films with Jeremy. That's all. Like my thing is the features, right? And I do like 1-2 a month. He's doing amazing. I mean, the stuff he's just started doing on Bleacher Report, I think is his best work yet. He's like tackling topics from a range of different points. So yeah, he's doing great work. I'm glad you mentioned him. My favourite Andrew Thompson bit is when I see one of his headlines, one of his sub-headlines, and be like, okay, I want to read that part of the news story. And I'll be like, I'll keep scrolling. I'm like, my God, this is endless. I know eventually I find about 8 different news stories that I didn't even click for. So yes, I'm going to do more complimenting here. Andrew is the best at news. Jeremy is good at headlines, even though he makes people mad at him, which is very sad. And we now have an
Yeah,
enemy in Alexa Bliss, by the way. She is now like promoting against us.
Yo,
I told you.
I saw that. I saw because I was scrolling and like I saw her like, cause you know how now on Twitter they got the update where you could just see the replies.
Yes.
Like when people tweet, like you don't got to click on the tweet to actually see you can just see the person comment. And I had to scroll back up. I was like, was that Alexa Bliss that just commented on Fightful story? And I was like, oh hell. I was like,
technical foul.
What did she see? But dog, the thing is, you put exactly what she said.
Thank you.
Like
Thank
that,
you.
like dog. That's the thing. Like, no, seriously, that's the thing I hate when not hate, but like I dislike when wrestlers do that. It's like when you take something that they literally said and then use it in the headline, and then they try to pass it off as like they didn't say it. I'm like if people actually listen to the interview and the way the dude said that to Alexa Bliss, the way she said it was like kind of in a way, which like she was like, no, Ronda Rousey shouldn't basically get credit for it, you know, for the stuff that she was doing. Because like a lot of people laid down for her, and that's the way she said. She said it like in a not in a forceful way, but she said it like she meant it. You know what I'm saying? Like she felt like that, and then you could tell towards the end of her answer, she kind of realized what she said and tried to like, you know, just pull it back just a little bit, and then she was like, "Oh, it's a team effort, you know, it's a collective effort." But I mean, that's what she said.
I will say, I've never said this, and I don't think you guys have either. If I was in the division and it was explained to me that we only got put on TV because Ronda won UFC fights, like I would also resent the notion that she's like the center. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Yeah, we spoke about this on I guess last Thursday now, right? Yeah, and it's like, if we're being real, it's the responsibility of the people that read these things and blow them up without actually clicking the link. They just do the headline. Like, I react in this way. They're the real enemies here, right? Because they cause all of this trouble. But yes, that's all.
Yes, read it. Andrew understands. It's a headline. If you want the full story, you click the headline, you read the context. If you want further, actually listen to the interview for yourself. But my job is to write a headline and to get you to want to click the headline. That's not clickbait. It's called writing a headline and doing my job to get you to read an article. That's facts. I appreciate that. See, if Andrew says it, it's good. It's Joe could come off as biased. I just make it seem like, oh yeah, it's a thing. See, I got Andrew's stamp of approval now. So.
Nah, bro, you definitely, because I listened to it.
We got beef with Alexa on this program.
Yeah. But you said exactly when you put exactly the words that came out of her mouth, and in the tone she said it in. Like if people actually went and go listen to it, you would know that is the exact tone she meant it in. But like, so real quick, how much time we got left?
Like 4 minutes. I don't want this to go over an hour and a half. Okay,
cool. I'm gonna talk to y'all off air about it, but I appreciate y'all bringing me on the pod, man.
We might have an idea off air, which we'll talk about here in a second. All right, let me plug everything now. Distraction Thursday. We will talk wrestling. We will talk about Clash of Champions and Alexa Bliss's big win. Maybe we'll take the title off her. She's counter-programmed against us every single day now. Very sad. Yes. Last Thursday, we interviewed Michael Thompson, NBA champion, Lakers legend. He was spitting those hot takes on Jon Moxley, on Asuka. We talked basketball with him. Tremendous time with Michael Thompson. Next week, we'll be back with a movie review. The new TEW series will be starting up. I don't know. Everyone yell at Joe. Tell him to finish the database. But the new TEW series will be starting up soon. Streaming 2K Battlegrounds. Sign up to Fightful Select. Go to Fightful.com. Follow Joe on Twitter at JoeHulbert5. Follow Andrew on Twitter. 80 Thompson __. Follow me on Twitter at Jeremy Lambert 88. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back on Thursday.